Let me compete on bosses then. Let's go for the worst boss. So let's see if we can do a competition on who the three of us think might be the worst boss. Okay. I had a boss that was caught masturbating in an adjoining office. Beat that.
Winner.
So what about the best bosses you've ever had? You don't name the names, right? Because obviously, but you know what I mean. You can describe them and describe the organisation and why, just to see what you think.
Well, I'm the director of my own company, so I'm the best boss I've ever had. I pay myself on time.
Easy.
I really care about. I have empathy for myself.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear that you don't abuse yourself as an employee.
Well, actually, now come to think of it,
actually, working. Just a quick one. I got a job for a bigger company. Obviously, they have to fill in all of the vendor setup stuff. Took ages. Took ages to pay as well. But one of the things of being set up as a vendor, bearing in mind that I'm only the only person that works in my company, it was a modern slavery policy. So I had to upload a file. So I had to write myself a modern slavery policy for myself. So I just made a text file like, I'm the only person that works here, and uploaded it, and it went through. So clearly that's good enough for them and good enough for me.
It's mad though, that modern slavery thing when it's you. But it's kind of funny. The organisation I work for at the moment, right? And it's like in the finance team, it's like a badge of honour that they do 80 hours a week and they work at 2 a.m. Like, dude, isn't that like modern slavery? Isn't it like do the work like that? It's not just holding on to your passport, go right, you're stuck here. But there's that emotional commitment to do what's necessary. That just
tells me bad planning. It's just that means you haven't planned your work well enough that you have to do so many hours. If anything, it reflects badly on you. Yeah, you're doing a bad job if you have to do.
I was an accountant. I trained as an accountant after university, and even then there were people like worked 5 days a week and then did college full days, Saturday, Sunday, which is pretty brutal. 3 months on, 3 months off. People rocking into college knackered. It's like, oh, what you been? It's like I was up till 2 a.m. Doing the month end close. It's like, oh, why? It's like you knew it was coming. It's like the same as Christmas. Yeah. I used to have people that had a project for Christmas. Like, well, it happens every year. It's not a project. It's just part of the business. So they're just rocking in. It's like doing month-end finance until 2 a.m. It's like, why? It's like it's a rule-based thing. You know it's happening each month. How can you possibly work that late? Just put stuff in place for the next month, so you don't have to work till 2 a.m. And then the next month they come and say, "Oh, it's knackered. It's month end." It's like so what? That month end is your job.
Yeah.
Try and make it better for next month. That should be your job, not working that long each time, and then like you say, bragging about it. It's like, oh yeah. I was ace because I worked till 11. It's like, well, I was ace because I worked till 4. Yeah,
it's like the Square Wheels cartoon, isn't it? It's not got time to make things better. That's what we do. Yeah. It's like, please, just try this round wheel, please. It's just insane. It's like, it is insane. I think rather than best bosses, then. Sorry, Ali, did you want to?
Oh, no, apart from yourself, Ali, I was going to say, which was your best boss?
Which tanked?
Well, the best boss I've had was about 20 years ago, probably now. Yeah, exactly 20 years ago, 2003. I worked for him for 4 months. Unfortunately, the company went bankrupt. Not because of him or me. It was just a bad timing. For the tech that we were building. And then what happened was, he's the first boss I've ever had who didn't check on my web browser time. It was the first boss I had because it was very they used to do that a lot in the early 2000s. I had a manager who would come and say, "Oh, you want to spend 20 minutes today?"
You look naturally suspicious, like you're going to be doing something wrong.
They did it for everyone, but so maybe
so much.
But yeah, so he was the first boss who actually showed empathy. Like if he saw me like down, he would actually come and talk to me. And like this is it blew me away that this guy actually cared about people. In fact, I'm still in touch with him on LinkedIn, and he's a lovely guy. And I actually enjoyed going to work. So like my golden rule is when you wake up in the morning, you want to go to work and you're happy to go to work, then that's a good job. You're enjoying it. The day you wake up and you don't want to go to work, you might want to start updating your CV. Obviously, if this happens to every job that you go to after a couple of weeks, then there might be
probably you, not them.
there might be more you than them. But normally the golden rule is, you should be happy to go to work. If you're unhappy to go to work, then you need to identify the root cause and hopefully work on it.
Yeah, it's fair. Gav, what about your best boss ever?
Yeah, so I had two that come to mind, and I guess the thing that links them was like they gave me the right thing that I needed at the time. So when I was early in my career and just got my first sort of big corporate job after a few smaller naff ones, then she was just like really encouraging, which is what I needed because I was naturally shy, just wasn't put myself out there, just still the old mindset of like put your head down, do your work, and you should get promoted. Where she's like, no, look, you need to go and tell people what you're doing. She's really good, like, you're doing great work. And every time we had a one-to-one, I was like it's easy for people to be critical about stuff you could do better. She's like, look, and that's not what I needed here because I just needed confidence. So she was just like, look, you're doing great work, go and do this, opening doors. Exactly what I needed at the time. And then the other one was similar. So later on in my career, just someone that's like really pragmatic, savvy, honest, and it's like Gav, you want this, get it, I think we need it, go speak to this person, go speak to that person. It's like, look, we're never going to get that way. I like someone that's between. Some people, like some managers, like we're saying, it's just not fun, take it way too seriously, like they're protecting the company. It's like, it's not your company. Why do you care? It's a global company. You don't care. It's not your money. Why do you care? Just have just be a normal human being. Just have a normal conversation with me, which is exactly what he did. So he's like the buffer between like, look, I'm never going to get that way for you. I can try, but I'm, there's other things in play that are not going to happen, or like, this is going on politically. That's not going to happen. And it's just, just really honest and pragmatic. It's like you can sort of get behind that. It's like, cool. It's like if someone's just honest. Whereas like we go into advice for like other managers that aren't as good, sometimes just get the impression like they don't know how they got to where they are. So like you're saying like, I want to get promoted. How do I do it? Like, well, you just need to move to this job and this job. Like, why?
Just work hard.
It's like, you need these skills and these skills. It's like, well, I've already got those. You just haven't. I've not been my man. Like, I literally had a new boss every 6 months for 15 years, which was challenging. But each time you get so far, like, they understand me and that think they've got your best interests at heart, and then they move, and then you get the next one. You got to start again from scratch. But someone that's a bit more, you can get behind someone that's like just telling you how it is, I guess, but not like someone. Sometimes then that's using an excuse to be like overly brutal. So it's like it's being nice and fun, but then also just explaining how it all works. If they are in the inner workings are like, look, yeah, I get it that it's naff, but here's how it works.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think I got a couple as well that come to mind. Funny, my first one, I originally joined like a Saab Scania distributor, and I was like assistant accountant to the finance manager or finance director. And I did management accounting to reconcile, and I was also like did all the IT support and stuff like that. And it was fun. And I loved this guy. I really looked up to him because every month end he used to say, "Steve, if we get the month end gone, we'll go and play snooker." And I loved that so much. And he used to have a Lotus Elan and take me after month end, and we used to go for a game of snooker at the end and like have an extended lunch as a reward to do it. And it was just like, and then we came back and we worked hard, and it was just really, really cool. I was like, wow. Sad thing is he ended up firing me in my sick bed because I'd managed to automate my complete job, all the reporting in at the time, Lotus 1, 2, 3, and he just, I have to let you go. I'm like, oh, thanks. That was kind of sad, but that kind of, I think there's something about looking up to the person that's looking up to your boss, and I think there's something about feeling like your boss sees something special in you. I think if they feel that you're valued and, individually valuable, I think that's really important. I had another guy at Barclays that ran a team, and this guy just knew that I was good at kind of the architecture and the strategy side of things. And in those conversations, we were kind of equal. And that was really, really refreshing to be, the Steve knows that. It was like I had my role in the A team. And okay, he might have been the Hannibal Lecter, but I was still like the howling mad Murdoch or whatever. But it was just really, really good to be valued like that. But yeah, I got to be the. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say I got to be the segue to bad bosses.
Oh well, I was going to say before we go on to bad bosses.
Go for it, mate.
You just reminded me about like being, feel like you're being valued is key. It's like someone that will promote. Some people just are like work stealers, aren't they? Some managers just steal your work. They're not really doing anything. They steal what you've done and then go and take it to someone higher. And the higher up person's like, oh, you've done a really good job, manager, because you've got me X, Y, Z, and you must have had something to do with it because you're the manager. Whereas actually, they've got nothing to do with it at all. It's like you're just stealing my work. Whereas like the good bosses are like, because they value you, like, well, you know more than me. It's like, and so above me wants this. It's like, well, you go and present it to them because that's a good opportunity for you to get, recognition. And I still look good by sending someone that I think's good in to speak to my boss. So they're not losing anything, and then they're getting win with me and win with the person above. So yes, it's definitely the value thing.
It's funny there. I'm an unstealer. I think because I'm naturally lazy and really busy, I go, will you go and tell them about all the good work we've done? So I kind of like make sure the people in my team just really like, they're front and center on everything because I'm bloody useless. It's keeping everybody in the loop. So it works really well.
I wouldn't say useless or lazy. It's just different ways, different styles of management, different styles of, you're not a micromanager, I would say.
No, I'm definitely not a micromanager. Yeah. But I kind of...
If you're a micromanager, that's what you would do. You would take everybody else's ideas and take it to high up. And
no, I'm absolutely the opposite. But it's funny because I play a kind of a fallible and foolish character a little bit so that everybody around me kind of steps up. And I think that's really, not positioning yourself as being the guy that, in charge, that has all the answers. There's a couple of people in my team describe themselves as my carer. So whenever we go somewhere, it's their job to look after me, right? I make, like serious strategic decisions, right? I do a lot of work. I work really hard, but there's this kind of banter that goes on where they know they're really important. It's really good. But getting on to bad bosses, unless you've got another good or comment, Ali, or should I go on to bad bosses?
I only talked about my first good boss. I've had
go for it.
Few good bosses. I know I'm not gonna. I think we should save it for other podcasts because we can't. We can't just talk about all the good bosses in one show.
No. I agree, mate. I agree.
Let's keep some mystery.
Let me compete on bosses then. Let's go for the worst boss. So let's see if we can do a competition on who the three of us think might be the worst boss. Okay. I had a boss that was caught masturbating in an adjoining office. Beat that.
Winner.
In all honesty, I think I would have preferred that kind of boss to the boss I had.
Go on then, describe your boss, because I think mine was particularly low.
Well, it's quite recent as well. Well, I say recent. It's a couple of years ago.
Call me out on this, Ali. Right? That would be terrible.
No, it wasn't the last boss. It wasn't Steve. This is not Steve.
Thank you, mate.
I told you this story before where I was talking to a colleague, and then this guy, my boss, walked up behind me and said, "Can I talk to you, please?" Oh, he didn't say please. He said, "Can I talk to you in this room?" I'm like, "Okay." I walked in, and they just started shouting at me. I couldn't figure out why he was shouting, because he was shouting at me like as if we'd been in a pub and we were both drunk and I've said something rude and he's now offended or something.
Can you do an impression of the shouting? What sort of shouting? It's like, Ali, what are you doing? Okay, so it was that general British.
Yeah, it was like. It would have helped if you told me why he was angry, but I only found out like a couple of minutes later after him shouting at me. He told me that I smile too much. and I shouldn't smile with the client. And I couldn't figure out if it was a joke, maybe he was hazing me or something because it was my second week there, or whether it was actually a true issue that I smiled too much with the client. We were just talking about I can't remember whatever. I think it was about what was the TV show? It was one of the TV shows. We were just talking about. I mean, we were just laughing. We were just making jokes.
Wow.
And I couldn't. And obviously, he overheard me laughing with them, and he thought it was important to interrupt our conversation to come and I thought at first, did I use a swear word? Did I offend anyone? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, I didn't say anything. This guy was just nuts. He had problems with people being smiley because they didn't look professional if you smile. I'm like, okay, well, good luck with that.
Smart. Yeah, when was the last time? I don't remember the last time I've been shouted at.
Yeah, it was. I was 40, so I'm 43 now, so it's 3 years ago. It was just such a weird thing to happen to me. Let's put it this way: I was confused for the next 2 days because I still couldn't figure out whether this was a joke.
Did you stop smiling though?
Well, it's very hard. I became miserable, if that helps.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's rubbish. That's rubbish. I guess in the days, right, when like it was socially acceptable to beat children, you used to have that, well, I'll wipe the smile off your face kind of conversation. But that, 40 years ago or whatever that was, like, you don't get that. Stop you smiling.
How dare you smile in front of a client? I'm like, what? I mean,
yeah.
So seriously, I mean, I don't mind being shouted. Well, I still don't be adults. We shouldn't shout at each other, but I don't mind being giving feedback.
Told off, reprimanded.
Well, feedback, not because there's a way to do it. In a professional environment. Yeah, but I would prefer if I've done something wrong, rather than smile too much, or laugh at or make a joke, or laugh at a joke. That's not that does not warrant you being angry. If you feel you're losing your temper, I would highly recommend going out for some fresh air or touch some grass outside.
Wow.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So let me give you another one of these. So that's a good, but I still think my caught in the adjoining office still wins. I also had a boss at a major financial institute who came up to me one day and said, "Steve, I've got a really good opportunity for you to make me look good." Genuinely. I'm like,
honesty.
I guess there's a points for honesty there, but knowing me, it's like, really, like you give that dog look, really. That was ridiculous. But what about you, Gav?
I can't think of many terrible ones. Certainly not the shouting or public masturbation seems to be winning any ones that I can think of right now. Yeah. Was the boss bad apart from me masturbating in the office as well?
No, he was all right. He was genuinely all right. But it was just in the days where, you know what I mean? He was all right. He was quite a fun guy. Knew his tech stuff. Was a master of the mainframe. But yeah, that really. And I had like.
It might not be a good word to use there. was it a good master data?
I'm just mastering the mainframe next door. Don't knock.
Yeah, but it was just difficult. But even then, there was a decision, whether, because I couldn't work with somebody because I had like the secretary office, to his boss office. I was the adjoining one to him, and he was like the IT manager. And it was because he was so valuable to the company that I said, look, I can't. They wouldn't do anything with him. And it was like, right, okay, I'll move on. It's like, thanks, no hard feelings. And I went and got another job. But it's like, whoa, I just don't, I don't get this. Like MPs who find the need to like do porn in the House of Commons or on trains. It's like, there's a time and place, guys. It's like, I just sometimes wonder if some people are just slightly unhinged. Or maybe it's me and I've got kind of like rigid morals or values that
maybe it's a thrill of getting caught. Maybe that's what they do.
still, it's not right. Not in a workplace.
Oh,
You
no,
know
it's,
what I
it's
mean?
not right, but it's just some people just
Yeah,
do crazy things.
it's kind of crazy how we roll.